at the Chime Beachfront. In the late afternoon, there are a few shady spots around here. It does get quite hot in the afternoon. Most of the hotels on the other side of the road, they have their own sort of allocated beachfront area. So it looks like the beachfront is allocated for the various hotels, and it's payable to take a seat there. But there's another area of the beach that is not allocated like that. Santisuk Bungalow. In the afternoon it does get a bit warm. I think the temperature at the moment is probably about 35 Celsius. So it's really feeling very, very, very warm actually. So one should actually take an umbrella or a hat at the least. And there's a 7-Eleven quite nearby, which you can see over there. Then there's plenty of people on their motorbikes getting around. Lots of expats as well as locals. And the 7-Eleven, very conveniently situated. And there's the Hua Villa. People with their vehicles with the business on wheels. And in the distance you've got your jet skis with passengers and on the dinghies. There's a variety of things to see here. Narimon Villa. And building going on nearby here. And just if there's a new block being put up here, so what it's worth, because there's plenty of other accommodation to see. There's doesn't seem to be much shortage of accommodation as such, and in various shops and things. Trying to find some shade here is not so easy. You should get a reasonable idea of what this place is about from this walkthrough. Plenty of accommodation on offer, restaurants, nice beach. The weather's good if you like warm weather. As for the prices, well, that's for you to decide as to what you think is reasonable. But there's something at $270, but it looks a bit dilapidated. Then there's something else in variable prices as such. More upmarkets are sort of around 900. And, let's see what else we can see. It's 500 for that. And, but of course this is Thai baht, so if you want to convert it to your local currency, then you can see what might be relevant for you. Sleepy dog on that side of the road. Nice to see a little bit of shadow in the afternoon. It really is warm here at the moment, and now the shadow helps to just make it a little bit more comfortable. There's another 7-Eleven. You can hire a scooter. In Sombat Garden Homestay, Rangan Homestay. Rangan Homestay. A restaurant right next door. With lots on offer. Grilled fish with spicy peanut sauce. Various other seafood, as you can see. And, Royal Luxury Beach Pool Villa. There's adequate place to relax with the reclining chairs. Not many of them seem to be occupied at the moment, but maybe a bit later on in the day, in the evening when it gets cooler, you might find people will want to use them. It's already sort of late afternoon though. A couple of vacant lots or properties that have been demolished to make room for new buildings. Golden Villa. Ban Lasuan Resort. This looks more upmarket and more expensive too, at 900. Looks very nice actually. Quite a lot to choose from. Is getting closer to where I entered the beachfront area. Is about a few hundred meters away from here. Is the entrance to the side road which I approached the beachfront from, and it extends beyond that on the other side as well. The other side is a bathing area which appears to be quite notable. Soulful coffee roasters. See, they have shower and toilets available in some of these cafes and shops. Gathering for over there, it's a gathering for aerobics by the looks of things, and here to pay homage the bathing area that I was referring to earlier, which you may have seen in an earlier video clip, is accessible from this point. So you may find that there's the actual area I was seated earlier when they interviewed me. Some school kids came along and interviewed me and wanted my impressions of Cha Am in the distance there. And then there's the beachfront. Again, it looks as if it's accessible, but yeah, with lounges and that sort of thing. One can get to the beachfront. Yeah, and some of the birds trying to get a pick at some of the food here. There's rice on the table. They probably think they can get some of that. I might as well have a look on this side of the entrance to the beachfront. See what there is here as well. There's some nice views here. It's amazing what they can carry on the scooters. There's all sorts to be seen. Very common to see two people on the scooter, and sometimes the entire family as well. It's intriguing. It's a little bit too commercial from my point of view, because you'd like to think you could just walk onto the beach, but there's no ready access without going via the pool lounges and that sort of thing, for which there seems to be an attendant for almost every couple of blocks. That's a little bit too commercial, and it detracts from the appeal in a way, but it's still relatively nice to appreciate the surroundings. Yeah, so that would be a major detractor from that point of view, is that the location is prime, the natural scenery is great, but the abundance of pool lounges and inaccessibility to the beach without having to sort of gain access not being so readily available, and just to try and get a look is not so easy either. I suppose they're trying to get as many people staying near to the beach as possible, and what with the sort of accommodation that one sees nearby, it's evident it's very densely populated in terms of the number of flats and apartments close to the beach. So I suppose it caters for as many people as possible. And what's more, it isn't just the beachfront area, as you can see, but they're developing these alleyways and byways. There's another road going up there, so I wouldn't say it detracts entirely, but the beach itself is very beautiful and nice bathing area, etc. But they're overdoing it a bit with the population of the area. There's not much one can do about that, I suppose. There's some more rooms. You've got an aircon cable, $450, fan cable, $400, just with a fan, $300. There's quite a range of things that are on offer. I suppose if you can find your niche on the beach and you have a comfortable room, then it could be quite satisfactory altogether. I suppose it depends what you're looking for. Let's take a walk along here and see if there's anything else on offer that's a little bit more reasonable, like without a sea view. Well, there are rooms to rent by the looks of things. Maybe it'd be a little bit less expensive here. Oh 0835392626. It doesn't look as if too many of these are occupied. Uh, 0863756903. Looks like a sort of duplex townhouse, but it's unfurnished from what I can see. At least they've got a furnished one. They don't look finished from what I can see. The odd one seems to be occupied. A little bit away from the hubbub of activity. 0892547802. Right at the beach, but just a little bit quieter as such. Looks as if their rate is on a daily basis, so they're probably not actually furnished. They must be furnished if it's a daily rate. It doesn't really tell you. You can make some inquiries. A daily rate would be a bit expensive, but maybe they'd consider long-term rentals, more 7-Elevens and that sort of thing. The beachfront continues. We have scooter rides. So if we go along here, you can probably find more of these places to rent that are not right on the beach. Let's just see. Always the scooter with the passenger, and some of these could be quite nice if they were nicely furnished with the air conditioning near to the beach. 0832476900, 0886172616. That looks good. 0813642669. Yes. And surprisingly, they don't seem to be occupied. Mm. 080 000 3636. There's some nicer looking ones here. 6343555773. Being a Sunday afternoon, if people would be at home at this time, then it would evidence that it's occupied, and it just doesn't look like it. 0870997231. There could be the odd one that's occupied, but it gives one an idea, I think.